I think we're starting with. We're starting with.
Yeah, Crumedy, I thought we touched him. I thought we.
Five.
Pause. I thought we talked about him last week.
No, we're starting with the 5th round pick because
Yeah,
we
we
went
had
through
number 5.
Shaw?
Yeah.
We had Shaw. Yeah, he turned up.
You go ahead, Tavian, because
I did my research on him.
You got a lot to say. You got a lot to say.
I got him. So
Go ahead.
My initial reaction to this pick was like, why? And my reaction now is still why, but now it's why the fuck? Because I mean, bro, he's short. He's smaller than what you want at the cornerback position. He's slow. He has little arms and little hands, and I just can't for the life of me figure out how somebody like that ends up getting drafted, finding their way onto an NFL roster, more or less like even in the 5th round. Like the 5th round is not even like a luxury pick. It's not a luxury position to be in the draft, but like that's what you spent it on? Smith Wade?
Yes.
You couldn't find nothing better.
No.
That's terrible.
No.
And you know why this happens?
And oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just while I'm still on him, at best, he'll be a special teams player. And we don't even know what that's going to look like in the year 2024.
I mean,
so
we have to see, bro.
At best, he'll be a special teams player. He'll be lucky if he finds life as a nickel.
So we don't. Okay, well, I wouldn't be mad at that. That's number one. Number two, so we don't credit anything he did in the Senior Bowl?
What?
I'm just asking. You don't got to do all of that. You don't got to go all crazy. I'm just asking a very simple question. Why do we not give him credit for what he did at the Senior Bowl? Because for me...
I'll tell you why right here. I'll just shut this shit down. What's the old boy that is the lineman for the Saints?
Pete?
The Penix. Or was it Penix?
I don't know who he's
Trevor
talking
Penning.
about.
The one that was at the Senior Bowl,
bro.
just straight dirting dudes.
The right tackle?
Yeah,
I think
and he
he's
was
the right
straight
tackle.
dirting people in the Senior Bowl, and now he can't even barely find his way onto the field. That's why we don't credit anything that's done at the Senior Bowl. It
But
doesn't
that's
matter.
different, though.
We look at what
We
you've
talk
done.
about
We look
game
at what
reps.
you've done on tape. We look at what you've done on film.
Well, when we
numbers
do
aren't
the scene,
crazy.
he's from a D2 university?
Nah, he's from Arizona State or Washington State.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, he D1.
so he just ain't hitting on it?
I mean,
He's 5'11", 176. I mean,
bro, that's not like this whole time. I'm thinking he's 5'8",
And I feel like
5'9". That's not 5'11". Ain't
and I'm
terrible.
not gonna lie, I feel like that's gas because every time I click on a player's like statistics bio on ESPN, it's 2 inches taller than what they showed on draft night. At least for the Panthers. I haven't clicked on nobody else. But it's like, no, I swear to God.
Here we go with the narrative already.
Because
Cool.
we're gonna talk about it with the next pick. But it is they be gassing. They spot them. It feels like 2 inches.
they do that to everybody.
I was
bro.
about to say they do that for everybody.
It's
bro.
not just the Panthers.
It's cleats. I mean,
But-
that's what's gonna happen when you in cleats. That's what's gonna happen. They gonna gas it. They do it to everybody. If he is 5'11", we'll even give him. I'll say 5'10". I'm not mad at it.
Well, cool.
He's
You talk
weight
about-
wise, he's small, but
He had-
5'10" ain't terrible.
He had more picks at the Senior Bowl than he did all season.
Well, he just might not be. He might
Because
not
he
be a
had
ball
none,
hawk.
because he had zero.
This
He had
pick,
zero.
this pick, not even his fault, bro. This is the Carolina Panthers' fault. This what happens when you go and do what you
Go
did.
get the best running back in the class. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Allegedly,
I didn't mean to cut you
allegedly.
off. Continue.
Yeah, don't do it again. This is what happens when you go back when they did what they did, traded their pick to go get a running back who's coming off a torn ACL when you had the opportunity to get Kool-Aid, in which I guess we just hate Kool-Aid now on this show.
No, he hates Kool-Aid.
I mean,
he hates Kool-Aid.
I
We were proponents of Kool-Aid.
No,
from
I
the
wanted
start of this
Kool-Aid as well.
process.
I wanted Kool-Aid as well, but I don't understand why everybody tweaked that we didn't get him. Okay, cool.
You
If we
know
got
why.
if we got a different strategy, we got a different approach, we can go get running back one. Cool. And matter of fact, I got a.
Has Gilly been signed yet? Because what did I tell you? What
but I
did
told
I
you-
tell you?
I
I'm a
said-
slander. Hey, if we don't sign Gilly and this what we end up with,
What about Xavier Howard? What about Xavier Howard?
We better get somebody.
You need to get somebody.
We're not rolling out Charles Smith Wade. Like I said, this is not even his fault. It's the Panthers front office fault that we're stuck in this position.
And it would just be like just a brain dead move to go sign Gilly now at 34, 35, coming off of shoulder surgery. Because truthfully, that's why he hasn't been signed yet. Because he can't even pass a medical.
I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how valid that is.
I'm telling you.
I don't know how valid that is.
I'm telling you what. He's coming off of shoulder surgery.
I need to see the article.
I mean, go look it up
I need
yourself.
to see
Do your research.
I need to
I'm
see the
telling
article of them saying that he hasn't been signed.
All right, you want me to cite it? You want me to cite it?
Of a
You want me to
shoulder
cite
surgery.
it? I can cite it. 103.5 The Fan down in Dallas. Fort Worth.
Okay, cool.
The
So what they got to
flagship
say,
station-
the validity of what they got to say.
The validity. They pull up clips from that show every day on First Take. Damn near. So let's chill on them. That's one of the largest radio stations in the country. All right.
He's so fanned
Let's,
out.
let's just chill on it. Let's chill on it. I'm
out.
just saying, let's chill on it.
So what?
And according to them, he hasn't been signed because he has had shoulder surgery and cannot pass a medical.
Okay, cool. And what source did they? Who did they quote by saying that? Have they said any NFL executive, any GM, anybody has come out and said that?
Brother, it's not my job
Or
to
they
dive
just-
into their.
or they
It's
just
not
come-
my job to dive
I mean,
into their sources. They're my
Listen,
source.
I'm just telling you, like nigga, we sat there.
We're not writing a fucking
and-
college paper.
Hold
We're
on,
debating
can
sports.
Can I ask you a question?
All
Did
right,
we
go
sit
ahead.
there and listen to Cam Newton's whole podcast with Shay Shay? Yes or no?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, cool. And you remember how they slandered Cecil's name, and he said it came from one person, a malicious, nasty, bastard ass motherfucker.
So somebody's out there being malicious about his shoulder.
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible.
Well, I mean, if that's the approach you want to take, then go
I'm
with
just
it.
telling you. Yeah, I do. And to combat what you said, to answer what you said, no, we didn't sign Gilly yet. But I told you, initially I said, if we pick Gilly up before training camp, are you going to relax? Well, no, excuse me. I said initially, I said, if we pick him up within the next 2 weeks, are you going to chill? And then I extended it, and I said, actually, you know what? If we pick him up any time before the season or any time before training camp, one of the two, are you going to chill? Just relax.
And what did I say?
I seen Joe Person in the article. He said, we haven't made no leeway. Things are kind of slow, this and that. Everybody chill. What grade are you giving, bro?
F.
D.
F.
A D, a F, and I'm going to just give it a C minus just because we got to relax. We don't know what's going to happen. And like I said, the Senior Bowl, he had it turned up. And those are live game reps.
This is 100% my least favorite draft pick of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Nasty. Hands down, by far, worst. Absolute fucking garbage.
And was bro still on the board? I keep forgetting. Kalen Carson?
Yes, he was.
He was.
They chose him up, but... And then, like I said last week,
I would feel a lot better.
I don't want to have too many conversations that we had last week. But like I said,
injury.
Exactly.
Don't use
And
injury when you got
upset.
a
But then
fucking
vouch for fucking Brooks.
Yeah, like come on, bro. Don't put injury in it when you went and drafted somebody.
One has a clean ACL tear, no structural damage, no ligament damage, none of that. Cool, clean ACL tear. And one is injury prone. One has been hurt multiple times throughout his college career.
And still manages to play like 8 games a year in a 12-game college football season.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you.
I mean, he still plays damn near 80%
and how many games
of the
did Shaw play? How many games did Shaw play? The whole
It
season?
ain't nothing about his injury.
Because we can really talk about it. Because Shaw, last season,
Let's talk about it.
only played 7 games.
Due to what?
Due to something. Due to something. He
I
only
mean-
logged 7 games.
Let's go see. Shaw Smith Wade. So you said F, D, and a C minus. Let's just go see the scouting report. Let's go see the scouting report.
A definite need for depth at a position where injuries have hurt the past few years. Smith Wade will be a backup and a special teamers at best.
Who was that per who?
I guess that's per Mel because that's on ESPN.
Now it got to be per somebody.
No,
That's
it
the
doesn't.
draft
I'm
right
just
now.
curious. Now, if we're giving Milk, never mind. Let me just.
He
chill.
offers 4.5 for 40.
That's
And
ass.
And allegedly a nose for the football that Dan Morgan wants with no interception. But he has a fucking nose for the football.
He had. All I'm telling you is he had 2 picks in the Senior Bowl.
Coming off a soft tissue injury that forced him to miss the final 5 games and is more of a project at this point.
Well,
And that's who we settle with.
they tell me EJ is damn near the best thing since Jesus Christ himself.
No.
Now, to respond to you, because this is what I hate, and Panthers fans like you, y'all are delusional. Y'all were emotional.
If you want to
And
talk
y'all-
about delusional and emotional Panthers fans, you the forefront of that shit, bro.
Ain't he?
It up. You drafted Jonathan Brooks. You take as dumb as it sounds. If the Cowboys draft Brooks at 46, I would have been over the moon over that. That's a perfect pick. You traded up. You drafted Jonathan Brooks. You take the chance on him being healthy with the ACL. The Panthers made the exact same move, and I'm like, I don't love that. As dumb as it sounds,
that's how y'all sound.
What?
That's how y'all sound.
I mean,
if anybody else
Is
would
that not a
have.
valid? It's about the need. It's about the need and where the team is at.
And do the Carolina Panthers have a need for running back? Yes or no?
Not as bad as they have a need for fucking corner.
Get out of here.
That's a fact.
I don't believe. I don't know if that's true.
That is true, bro.
I don't know if that's true. I
That is
really
true.
don't.
You got rid of Dante Jackson. You have an injury-prone J.C. Horn, and who do you have as your backup? You got rid of
Dane,
CJ.
Troy Hill,
Yeah, I mean, you don't even seem confident in saying those
and
things.
now Shaw.
Like be real, bro.
And now Shaw.
Yeah, it's
Simple.
absolutely disgusting. When you could have had JC and Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Only thing, and this is very simple.
And you would
This
have
is
still
very
had
simple.
Chuba, who's going to be the lead back to start the season any fucking way.
I don't know if me personally, I don't know if that's true. That's
wanna-
just me
what-
personally.
Do you want to put something on it?
No, I don't. But I'm just telling you, I don't know. Me personally, I seen the depth chart last week, and they had Jonathan Brooks as RB2 already. So I personally don't.
I mean,
know.
putting him at RB2 isn't that
I
hard because
personally
Miles
don't
Sanders
know
had
if
such
that's
a shit
accurate.
season.
I
But
mean, and
he
you
won't
should
be
think that's
RB1.
flawed anyway. He ain't even stepped on the field yet. So I don't even know why they moving him that high. Because
Miles
if he
Sanders
go out
is
there and
so
snap
bad.
his shit, God forbid, then I'm going to be on their ass.
Let's move on, just so we keep the structure. We're going to circle back to the conversation though, because I really don't like. And then this is going to be a situation where y'all drive me to sound delusional about Jonathan Brooks because of y'all. Specifically,
It's
y'all
going to be
two.
because deep down inside, that's the way you want it to be.
Well, that's
The whole
I mean,
time.
I think you're gonna have it
matter
turned
of fact,
up.
a perfect comp for this is how you feel about Bryce is probably how we feel about Jonathan Brooks.
I mean, and I would just say y'all, if that's the case, then y'all were damn near borderline idiotic.
And we could say the same thing to you about Bryce. So here we are.
Okay, cool.
So here we
Fair
are.
enough. Pick number 6. Where did we go?
Round six.
That's bro.
Jaden. Yep, Jaden
So-
Frumity.
I mean, I think he had a solid year last year. Let me see. The negatives about him was his he just has bad use of his hands. They said he was like a hustle player, kind of quick off the line, so he gave offensive linemen problems. But when it came to like just if he doesn't get that push off the line, then he's a pretty easy guy to block. But, I mean, I think it's a great depth piece for we got Ashawn Jameson, is that his name? Ashawn Robinson.
Yes,
Excuse me.
Ashawn Robinson.
Ashawn Robinson. So he's a little more on the older side, and then he can also learn from Derrick Brown. So I think that's a good piece to bring in development-wise. And I think, I mean, in the long run, he can turn out to be a fairly decent defensive tackle, subbing in and out, getting some reps. But, I mean, he's not nothing to write home about, but I guess they say he's going to be solid, so we'll see.
Yeah, definitely not anything like crazy to write home about. That's why he was drafted in the 6th round. But I do like the fact, but this is again where I say like the numbers is kind of weird on people because on the night that he was drafted, he was listed at 6'3.5", I believe, and ESPN has him listed at 6'5". So like if he is 6'5", 305, then you kind of got a project player on your hands, like Smith Wade, except with better measurables.
Bleacher Report got him at 6'4", by the way.
Yes, I mean, it's just crazy how nobody can get their heights right unless for whatever reason. But, you got a guy, neither here nor there, you got a guy who's relatively a large human being. He had a subpar season, I would say. He only had about like 30 tackles in total. Which
35.
is, yeah, I mean, that's
2.5 sacks.
kind of want a little bit more from, you kind of want a little bit more production from a D tackle, I guess. But he'll be a 3 tech. He'll slide right in behind DB. It's a depth signing. It's always good to have big bodies. I say it every week, you win in the trenches. So I'm never going to be mad at a trench signing to give a little bit more depth. I don't think he'll ever be a 1 unless he could transition to 1, I guess. But with the way that they talk about his get off and his first step, I think he definitely projects more as a 3, and he'll be a nice fill in to give DB some breathers here and there.
Grade. I don't know. I
B
haven't
minus.
seen him play, so I'm not gonna really give any expertise. I'm not gonna give any feedback. Like I said, 35 times. I can look at the numbers. I haven't seen any film, so I'm not even gonna do him the disservice of commenting on what I believe he will or can be because I haven't done my due diligence. So I mean, this is a guy that I'll have to see step on the field and see what he offers at training camp. So I won't even give a grade, but it seems like y'all have done a little bit more than me.
I'd say C+.
C plus. What do you got? What did you have him?
B minus.
B minus. Okay, cool. But Shaw as a all right.
Because I give him
No
B minus
worries.
because I like him. I like where he can be projected. I don't like anything about Shaw. Like nothing. I don't even like his name.
Wow. Then pick 240, Michael Barrett. I like this guy.
Light in the ass.
I like him.
Well, I mean, that's cool, but I mean,
That's all you got to say.
I mean, no, I got more to say, but I mean, he's more on the smaller side for a linebacker. I was telling Tavian earlier, his measurables is like a DB, just a little heavier. I mean, he's 5'11", 230. He's a good coverage guy. That's what they have.
239 if you ask ESPN.
What is he?
6 foot 239 if you ask ESPN.
And Bleacher
They be
Report,
capping.
5'11", 233. So
That's what NFL has him at as well. 5'11", 233.
yeah, I mean, like his scouting report said that he's a very good coverage guy. But when it comes to the run defense, like he's shit. Which I mean, I think we need more coverage linebackers. Frankie was pretty mid in coverage, I would say.
A run stopper.
Yeah, Shaq Thompson, not great in coverage either. So I don't know how quick this guy will be thrown in a rotation because I know Josie Jewell, that's his name. I think he's a pretty good cover guy. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about him. Just not good at stopping the run. I don't know how far that's going to go in the long run. And I think he had to put on a little bit more size for him to be like a prominent linebacker. But, I mean, we'll see.
For me, I like what he's able to do in the open field, and that his size may play a part in that. But I believe that his ability to tackle in the open field will kind of save him on some of those fronts as far as his size is concerned. Look, third team all conference, 2 years back to back. He played all 15 games last year, so he had the ability to stay healthy. I mean, I think that if I had to look at those background picks, 5, 6, 7, I would probably have him a little bit higher than 5 and 6 for me personally. I like him. You get that depth like we talked about. You automatically bring in more competition and more competition for Josie, Shaq. Now, obviously, Shaq's position is solidified. That's, I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination, but I believe, like Dave Canales said, with his post-draft press conference, iron sharpens iron. When you have players in the room that are dogs, players in the room that's going to work hard, players in the room that have the ability to make something of their career, bare minimum, there's going to be a certain level of reciprocation within that room, and you're going to drive players to be better, iron sharpening iron, more or less. So I personally like it. I'm interested to see. I will have my eyes on him and Trevin Wallace throughout training camp. That'll be one of the main groups. Linebacker is going to be one of the main groups that I'll look at during training camp this season, for sure.
Special teams guy.
Michael?
Yeah, I think he'd be great on special teams. But, I mean, Frankie started there, so.
I think he has the potential to blossom into something a little bit more because when I look at a guy like Barrett, I kind of like to look at a game by game and kind of see where they're at. Obviously he's been consistent, but where he had his best game of the season was where it mattered the most, and that was in that championship game against Alabama where he tallied 9 tackles, seven of them being solos, and he had a sack. I mean, he was just kind of flying all over the field that day, and that's for everything. That's where all the pressure's on, the lights are the brightest, and he really showed up in a big way, and I feel like you want to see that, especially if you're drafting a guy in the 7th.
So he's a dog is what you're telling me.
Could be. Could have that mentality. They said that's what they wanted to draft.
Yeah.
They might have found one. I mean, we'll see what his work ethic is like, but all I know is from what I've seen, when the lights was the brightest, he played his best.
Facts.
And I feel like that says a lot about your character.
I give him a C.
I'm gonna say a B. I'll say a B.
And
7th round pick.
Giving out another B minus. I like both of these picks.
Okay, cool. I'm not mad at it.